A lot of people know about Conroe, Texas, and maybe those people know about the thousands of acres of forest that surround it, or the thousands of people who come to the shores of Lake Conroe to play every year. Maybe they didn't know that Montgomery County is the birthplace of the Texas flag, or even that Conroe has the longest continually running barbershop in the state. Actually, I didn't even know that. But there are other facts that people may be less familiar with. Hidden things, darker things, straight up weird things. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 strangest facts about Conroe, Texas. Stories that you may not know. Stories they may not want you to know. I don't really even know who they are. But are you intrigued? Stick around. What's up, everyone? It's Jeff with Jeff West Properties, your host for the Conroe Living Channel, where we identify and celebrate everything that makes Conroe, Texas, one of the fastest growing cities in America. Most people have heard of Bonnie and Clyde, some of the most infamous gangsters in American history.
You robbed banks.
But did you know that they have a Conroe connection? Conroe is one of the most frequent locations of the Barrow Gang's meetings. There's a rusted out bridge in Conroe off of FM 2854 where the Barrow Gang would actually gather to plan their heists. Clyde Barrow's cousin Dude Barrow was part of the Barrow Gang, and his family lived in the town of Conroe and were upstanding members of society. So they had somewhat of a free rein, but they didn't want to cause trouble to the town, so they met under the bridge. They were last seen 2 weeks before their ultimate demise. Bonnie and Clyde brought in the famous Ford V8 for a tune-up in Conroe, which was going to be the last tune-up it ever had before 2 weeks later it was on the front page of every newspaper in America, riddled with bullets, as authorities took down the most wanted criminals in America.
We rob banks.
There are facts about Conroe that the city is proud to share, like the origin of its nickname, the Miracle City. In 1932, wildcatter George Strait discovered oil. And before you knew it, oil companies and fortune seekers flocked to the area, as Conroe, it was discovered, had the 3rd largest oil reserves in the entire nation. In a time where the rest of the country was experiencing the Great Depression, Conroe had more millionaires per capita than anywhere else in America.
I'm really rich.
But this story took a darker turn. It started when one of the wells exploded, creating a huge crater in the ground that swallowed up most of the wells in the area. For months, the crater was a lake of oil and fire, which couldn't be put out for months. The new invention of directional drilling created a relief well. The oil was skimmed, and the lake was replaced with water. For years after that, Crater Lake was actually one of the favorite swimming holes for a lot of local residents. But that all changed in the 1970s when the body of a 12-year-old girl was discovered in the area. From that point on, it became a frequented location of all sorts of illegal activity, and unfortunately, a dumping ground for many more bodies. This included the victims of Michael Perry and Jason Burkett, the subject for the 2011 Werner Herzog documentary, Into the Abyss. Another darker point in Conroe's history came in 1980. Clarence Brandley, a supervising janitor from Conroe High School, was convicted of the brutal rape and murder of 16-year-old Cheryl Ferguson. As one of 5 janitors who were there that day, Brandley was the only African American, and he immediately became the focal point of the investigation. There are some disturbing details in the investigation that I won't share. After a mistrial in the first case, he was convicted a second time by an all-white jury and sentenced to death. His case drew national attention, as well as attention from civil rights activists who started the Clarence Brandley Coalition, raising money for his defense. His lawyers continued to appeal the conviction until he received a stay only a couple of days away from his execution. In an evidentiary hearing in 1987, District Judge Perry Pickett wrote, "No case has presented a more shocking scenario of the effects of racial prejudice, perjured testimony, witness intimidation, and an investigation the outcome of which was predetermined." His ordeal became the subject of many news articles everywhere from Texas Monthly to the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. It was also the subject for the novel White Lies by British author Nick Davies, which went on to become a movie on the Showtime network. Later, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals ruled that the trial lacked even the rudiments of fairness and sent it back for a retrial. In 1990, Brantley became one of only 3 death row inmates at the time that had been exonerated when the U.S. Supreme Court dropped all charges. That was unfortunately the best news in this otherwise tragic story. When he was released from prison, the first thing he found out was that he owed $50,000 in back child support because of a federal law that stated once child support was established, it could never be reduced or forgiven, so he was forced to pay it. He and his lawyers tried to fight for compensation for being wrongfully imprisoned, but he was denied over and over again. The denials came because though he was exonerated, authorities never dropped the charges which would have cleared him for state compensation. For years, he continued his appeals until his tragic, untimely death at age 66 in 2018. Okay, we're going to move on from the tragic to the just plain weird. In the 1960s, Louis Kung, who was the nephew of China's leader Chiang Kai-shek, moved to Montgomery to start Weston Oil. Maybe he was paranoid. Maybe he was aware of something that we weren't, but he was highly afraid of nuclear attack. So in the 80s, using all of his oil money, he developed a secret underground nuclear bunker.
Bunker? What bunker?
That was 50,000 square feet and could hold 1,500 people. It was designed to withstand a 40 megaton blast.
Yay!
And came equipped with a jail, cafeteria, dorms, decontamination showers, and a hospital, as well as everything you would need to live out a nuclear war.
It's time to get in the bunker.
And here's the thing, nobody knew about it. On the surface, all you had was an office building and some decorative pagodas that you had to get really close in order to see that it was reinforced concrete and that it had sniper holes all around it. The only reason it became public was in 1987, Weston Oil collapsed with the Houston oil crisis, and it had to be foreclosed on by the bank. Can you imagine being a bank trying to sell a 50,000 square foot nuclear bunker? Luckily, they did. Today, the facility is a data storage facility, one of the most secure on Earth. What place better to host your servers than a place that's designed to withstand a nuclear attack?
All right.
Finally, Conroe and the Lake Conroe area have its share of celebrities, either who were born here or are current residents. We have people like one of the greatest pitchers of all time, Roger Clemens, and Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, also beat writer William S. Burroughs' son, and country superstar Parker McCollum. But the newest singing sensation to come out of Conroe might just outshine them all, at least for a couple of months. I'm talking, of course, about Monty the Singing Donkey. Monty took the internet by storm as a viral sensation on TikTok. His amazing skills have garnered over 15 million views and 500,000 followers. Wait, how many subscribers do we have? Seriously? I'm a much better singer than he is. He's much better at being a donkey, though. It's been said that he has a new collaboration coming out with Justin Bieber. It's been said. By me. Just now. And I made it up. So there you have it. Conroe's more than just miles of shoreline, great southern cooking, and trees. So many trees. As a local realtor, I've helped people from all over America get acclimated with the area, find them the perfect landing spot, teach them about the schools, the roadways, and the really important information like where to find singing donkeys.
Stop singing!
Okay, maybe not important, but I've been told I'm a little extra from time to time. If you have any questions about the area, just pick up the phone, give me a call, text, or email, and I'd be happy to help. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Conroe Living Channel, where you can learn everything about the DNA of one of the fastest growing cities in America. Here's a video to get you started.